everybody. It's Safi and Marco. Dish out on the movies. Today we are reviewing Fear Factor, House of Fear, and it's episode 9. It's entitled Short Circuit.
Safi, why are you calling it that?
Because that's what it's entitled.
No, you know as well as I do, the show that we're watching is called Soy Factor, House of Soy, episode, whatever.
9.
Soy Circuit.
Okay, this is just BS. But
Soy Circuit.
this is the next to the last episode.
The semifinals of Soy. And so I'll get started because, Safi, she's been kind of slacking. And, so I'll pick up the slack as usual. So this episode, I don't know. I've gotten to the point where, again, I think we've said this 1,000 times. The show is not good now that Zach is gone. In fact, I came up with a phrase, the show is whack without Zach. Because I don't know, there's no one to root for. In fact, the one person who I guess I'm rooting for the finale, he's someone that I would never have wanted to root for. We'll talk about that at the end. And I just think, I don't know, the show, I think that's something too that people have been bringing up that I didn't even think about, was that a lot of these challenges are based around pain.
Yeah.
They're based around torture. And I don't like that. I wish that the challenges would be more oriented towards fears because, it's Fear Factor. And, I don't know, especially the second challenge in this episode, there's something that ends up happening that I didn't like because it felt like it could have been very preventable. I even came up with a solution with Safi, and she affirmed it. So Safi, why don't you get into the episode? We have to talk about Rob and Jaylene.
Okay, well,
and all that crap.
They start out.
No, we can't start off with that. We have to start off with they're in the House of Soy. And they're all, getting ready for the semifinals. They're talking about their alliances, or lack thereof. Because there's no, it's the semifinals. Why would you be in an alliance now?
Okay, well, everybody's mad at Rob.
Yeah, and they
really
should be.
Rightly so.
Yeah.
And because this is why I'm saying those alliances are BS.
Yeah.
And really, I'll just talk about the Machiavelli, who's Ethan and Dildo. No, Marco. Anyway, I think they've been more just friends. They just really like each other. They're just good friends. So,
well, see, I liked those two at first, but then they did that thing where they were constantly protecting all the women in the house. And I thought that was cringeworthy because it's everyone needs to participate in the challenges, no matter if they're men or women. So it's too bad because I liked them at first.
At the end, though, they've both of them been nothing but themselves. They've never pretended to be anybody else, and that's one thing I do like.
Yeah.
Because this thing about, I don't know if Chelsea is being somebody else, but everybody else has been fake.
That Rob and Jaylene especially. Yeah. And playing all sides and... Yeah, well, let's get to the greatest moment of the trailer from last week, because Rob knows that he's in trouble. Because he made that dumb shit decision. It was it's still, looking back, that was such a strange choice. He didn't even have to do that. It's like he wanted to pull a Zach when the game is already gonna be over. He picked the most odd time to do what he did. But he's talking with Jaylene and they're cuddling and cringe cuddling. And it's so hilarious because Jaylene is like, I don't like liars. I don't like cheaters. And then she repeats herself. She says, I don't like cheaters and liars. And you lied to me. And it's so funny because you can see in Rob's face, he's like, okay, I've got to pretty boy this one out. You know, I've got to pull the pretty boy bullshitter axe. And so he kind of, what do you call it? He slithered his way out of it. And the worst part, I don't even think Safi caught this. I don't even think, because I would never, ever want to be in a situation where this type of thing would be revealed on national television. Jaylene says, Rob, I've given you mostly everything.
Oh, God, no, I
She
didn't hear
said that. She said
But
that
I
out
won-
loud.
But I wondered that.
I've given you mostly everything. Oh my God.
Ugh. Ew.
Why would you say that on TV?
I don't know.
That's so weird and cringe. And so you guys can speculate. They got to third base, but they didn't get a home run. But the point is, Jaylene is a fucking liar, and she's a fucking hypocrite because she has lied in this game multiple times. In fact, the very first time that she's on screen with Rob, she's bragging to the camera about how she can flirt with him to curry favor and get him on her side so that he can help keep her safe. That's the very first thing that she says about him, that she's happy that she's going to flirt and play with him and lie to him. And then she has the nerve now to say, I don't like liars. I don't like cheaters. I don't like cheaters and liars. And I've given you mostly everything, Rob.
Ugh.
Why would you say that?
I don't know.
And she
That's
is
the one
worse.
thing about some of these people.
Yeah.
They reveal way too much about themselves.
They're retarded.
It's just like, well, it's because of social media. I hate to say that because I'm not social media, but I don't do a lot. But
Good point, Safi, because that leads me to my next point, is that, you know what? You are a part of a show. You have to have a certain amount of professionalism, at least in public. You know, in private, you can do whatever you want. You know, you can... I mean, Hollywood eats children in private, and, you know, they don't even care. But I looked at Instagram. A lot of the Fear Factor contestants, or most of them, or all of them, they're all on Instagram.
And I don't do Instagram, so...
And they are all interacting with fans on and off. Zachary even liked one of my comments, of course, because, you know, I said Team Zach. And, I saw this one comment say that they did not like seeing Rob and Jaylene. Every time they see that, they want to throw up. And there's nothing wrong with that. And, you know, if I was Rob or Jaylene and I saw that, I would just go, you know, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, guess what Jaylene did? Now, I haven't kept track of all the comments, so she might have been even worse on other comments. I don't know. But she replied to this person, and she said something to the effect of, like, well, I clicked on your profile, and that made me want to throw up. And, like, why would you say that? Like, that's a personal attack. And, you know, why would you say that to fans of the show? Like, of the show that you're on, that you're supposed to be, you know, like, why would you do that? It's so bad.
She's childish.
Yeah, she's childish and immature.
I could see it even if she was a kid, like a teenager,
like 16,
and they're on social media and they might gripe at each other and do whatever, and that's kind of like something they would do.
Yeah.
And I don't think they would even stoop that low to do, for a TV show, or maybe they would, but still, they don't know better.
Yeah.
They're trying to learn how to know better, but they're still at the getting to know what is better stage.
This was a guy...
And she should know better. She's an adult.
This was a guy who was married with 2 children. and a reality show contestant, young woman, is going on Instagram and saying, your profile makes me want to throw up. What kind of professionalism is that? Like, it's a really, really bad look, and I'm happy to expose it because she's a bitch, she's a liar.
Okay, that's
and
enough.
she fucking deserves it. And
all right.
was there one last thing I wanted to... Oh, yeah. Her Instagram handle is a very interesting handle because it's probably best left without even elaborating. Her Instagram handle is Nobby Knees.
I can't believe that.
That's her Instagram name. I don't want to say anything else, but let's just say Jaylene is she's bad. She's really bad. And in fact, I did watch an episode of American Dad. I'll mention this really quickly. And they did like a reality show parody, and it was so funny because all the contestants were almost exactly like them. And there's this really funny twist where, you know, they thought they were on a show called All Stars, and they get out on stage, and it turns out they're on a show called Imbeciles. And so I thought that it would be so hilarious to see these contestants, these soy boy contestants, put them on a stage and say, sorry, you were actually on a test run of a TV show called The Imbeciles. So, Safi, what? Let's get into it. The challenges.
Well, the very first thing, it took me a couple times to watch it. I think I looked at it 3 times, actually. They have an electrified box. It's wooden, but it's been electrified. And there's teams of 2. So what we have left, or we have 3 teams of 2. So everybody will have to participate. Okay, so what happens is one person will go into this box. They will shut the door. And then there's a diagram of these wires. There's and they're all different colors. There's, like red, yellow, blue, green. And then they have to go to the right places. If you've played any video games, they have stuff like that on video games, where you have to connect the right wire to the right place. And the thing is, the whole building is electrified. So what happens is, on the inside is the correct diagram of how everything works. On the outside is an intercom system. So what happens is the person, the partner, touches the intercom, and let's see, now how does this work? They have the circuit board, and then the other person gets on their intercom, and they have to say what goes where. And then the person on the outside connects the wires. The problem is, and this is what I was wondering, is that the person on the inside, any surface they touch, now I'm not talking about what they're standing on, I'm talking about what they touch with their hands. Anything on the walls, the intercom button, and anything they touch, they will get electrified. And it hurts.
Ow!
And so, but I thought the person on the outside wasn't getting anything. And I'm like, what kind of challenge is this? Well, everybody on the inside has to suffer, but the people on the outside don't. Well, yes, they do. They do get the charge. The only thing they're touching is they had to open up it's like a fuse box, and they have to understand the directions they're given from the inside via that intercom. Well, every time they touch the intercom too, they will get a shock.
Safi just electrocuted me with her finger, by the way.
No, I didn't.
It was really scary.
So anyway, so you have both of them. The one on the inside gets more shocks because any surface they touch, they're going to get it. The person on the outside, the only time they're going to get shocked is when they turn on the intercom. They touch the button on that. They will get a shock. So the teams are, and I had to watch this several.
Ethan and the flight attendant.
That's Lance. Ethan and Lance, and then
Chelsea and
Dita,
Dildo,
and
Jaylene, and Jaylene and Rob.
Now the thing is, the show picked the teams.
Yeah,
they did not pick their teams. Okay?
We can definitely tell they picked them because they had Jaylene and Rob on a team together, which, to be honest, what I would have liked to have seen more so, I would have liked to have seen Rob and the flight attendant because they'd be forced to work together and it would be like, oh no. But anyways, Ethan and the flight attendant, they actually did pretty good. And I gotta be honest,
they went first.
I gotta be honest, I didn't like this challenge at all. I thought it was very confusing.
I did. That's why I had to watch it like 3 times.
I just watched it once and
to understand what they were doing.
I thought it was very confusing. I did like the aspect they were trying to do like a puzzle, because they haven't really done any puzzles the whole season. But I don't know. I didn't like it. I thought it was too complicated. But it was a good effort. But I want to see, like, earlier in the show, they were doing challenges that were all about fears. Like, fear of getting dragged by a horse, the fire thing, heights. They had, every challenge, it was like, okay, this is the fear of blank. And in this challenge, it's just, do you want to get physically hurt by an electric shock?
Which is really torture.
You're afraid of that then. You must have fear. No, I don't have fear of electric shock. I have fear of getting physically hurt from getting an electric shock. It's not the same thing. It's like everyone is afraid of getting shot with a gun, but it doesn't have anything to do with the fear of getting shot from a gun. It has to do with the fear of getting physically hurt. You understand what I'm saying, Safi?
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference. There's a separation.
Okay, well, let's see. Ethan and Lance went first, and they did complete the challenge. And then I think, and
yeah, they did.
Dita and Chelsea didn't.
Dildo and Chelsea. They were supposed to do really good, and the host, Johnny, even said they both like puzzles, but surprisingly, they both failed. And I felt bad for them, especially Dildo, after what happens to him later on.
Well, they didn't do it fast enough, too. They were just... I know he really did not like getting shocked. He's had needles put in him, and I thought that was really gross and painful. And... But, I don't think I'd like getting shocked either. I think I'd have a heart attack. But so anyway, the last couple was, of course, Jaylene and Rob.
And they did pretty good. Now, here's the thing. Before the challenge starts, it's so funny because they're like, we're having some communication issues. It's like, how does that make sense? Like, it's not really communication. It's the fact that Rob is a two-faced liar and Jaylene is a two-faced liar, and they're both kind of like, well, wait a second, I thought I want to be able to use you how I want to use you. And that's how they're both like. And so, but remember that, Safi? Johnny's like, hopefully they'll be able to accomplish this because they've been having some communication issues. Like, oh, wow.
But they actually won.
They did. They won the challenge.
So they get to pick 3 people to go into the end game, and then the thing about the end game is 2 people will be eliminated. Remember, this is the semifinals, and they got to get rid of some people.
Yeah.
So they're getting rid of 2.
Yeah.
So they talk about it, and some people plead their case, and Dita and
Dildo.
Marco. I wish you quit saying that.
That's his name.
No, it's not.
Dildo or
Dita
Dada?
and Ethan
Dada.
know that they're threats,
Yeah.
and because they're athletic, and so the thing is that what this end game challenge is they have to hang off a platform with hands. Each hand is on a bar, okay? But they have a platform underneath them, and they're hanging above the ocean.
Yeah.
So I think they've got like a floaty type of vest on.
Yeah, they do.
Where if they go in the water, I mean, they don't have to worry about drowning. And so they're wearing their swimming suits. The thing is, I guess the water's really cold, too, and they're way up above, like it's a height thing. But I don't really even think that bothered anybody. It was
kind of a dumb challenge.
I don't know. The thing is, it would take a lot of arm strength.
Yeah, that's more of like a Biggest Loser type of challenge or something.
Well, they've had that on Survivor too.
Endurance.
Like
they
that.
call it the endurance challenge.
Yeah.
Like on Biggest Loser, they had to do a challenge where they all held a bar. Excuse me. They all held a bar above their head. Yeah. And whoever dropped it, they get eliminated. They did that on Biggest Loser. So the worst thing, though, is they all have these tanks on their heads, and above them there's tubes, and they're going to dump insects and snakes and crickets and stuff like that.
Worms, beetles, let's see, what else did they put in?
Stuff like that.
Just all kinds
into
of
the
stuff
tubes. Like that. And now here's the issue that we both have, because even just thinking about it, it makes me kind of cringe. Not in a good way. They do not have any earplugs or nose plugs, and so these things could get inside their nose or ears. And I just don't think that that's good. And I even came up with the solution because I thought maybe they don't want them to have earplugs because they think that they won't be able to hear the host, Johnny. Yeah. But they could just give the contestants earbuds. They will get damaged, obviously. They will get destroyed. But they could have them wear earbuds so that they could hear Johnny through the earbuds. I think that would be an acceptable solution. If you're going to do this challenge, you want the contestants to be safe. And but they don't do that, and so...
Well, anyway, so the people they pick are Lance, who's the flight attendant.
They picked him right off the bat.
Because he's been a thorn in their side, basically, and he's called them out for who they are. He even, before he knew that one guy, the detective, had been like an undercover cop, he just guessed it. And nobody else did, so I thought he's very, I think because he's a flight attendant, he's used to being around all kinds of people, and maybe he kind of has a sense about them.
I would not tell any of my passengers I was on Soy Factor, House of Soy.
Yeah, so anyway, he thinks Rob might be married, so I'm wondering about that.
Well, that has happened before in other reality shows.
I know.
Like that's like a twist. I don't think he is though.
I don't
think
either. But I wondered though.
He's one of those types though. He's that type.
Yeah.
But Jaylene, when she started like getting together with him, she said she's manipulating him. So it's like, what about her? And so he gets up there, and then Dildo and Machiavelli guy get up there too.
And the thing is, they have a board. The other thing is, they have a board underneath their feet, a metal, flooring, and it will, as the time goes on, it will tilt, and then by the end, they won't have anything underneath them, and so their arm strength, it will depend a lot on them falling. What will be their arm strength, whether they have enough to hold on, because there will be nothing to hold them up. And it's a gradual process. The whole thing took...
Well, I would like to also say Chelsea did not get up there, and it was really funny because even in the semifinals, they are still doing this thing where, like, okay, we got to protect the women.
She wouldn't have been able to do it.
Chelsea even said, like, oh, no, I could never do that. And it's like,
It's
well,
the
why are
arm
you on
thing.
the show then?
I know.
Why are
But
you on the show?
It truly did take the most athletic person
Yeah.
to win the challenge. And you don't think that could happen, but it did. It did, because first Lance fell in.
Yeah, and the other two, they kept on taking breaks with the bar. They kept on letting go with each hand. And I was kind of worried because I thought, like, uh-oh, like, is something bad happening now? Because they showed in the previews that someone would go in an ambulance. So I was wondering, like, uh-oh. But they each took breaks. Lance, the idiot, didn't really do that. And then he fell in. And it was like, what?
No,
And
he
then,
was very upset. He wanted to get a house for his mother.
oh, whatever.
They've lived in rental properties forever, which basically we have too. It's just the way it goes. And
so then Dildo fell in. Dildo lost. So Dildo and the flight attendant got eliminated, and the Machiavelli guy, he has gotten to the finals. And now here's the thing. Learning about Machiavelli in college has paid off. But it literally had nothing to do with why he's in the finale. That's the funny thing. Like, it has nothing to do with why he's in the finale.
no,
Nothing.
it was all based on his athleticism.
Yeah, being athletic. And I think that's an issue. They need to fix that with the show. It shouldn't be like the most athletic person wins.
Yeah,
you know?
because, I mean, even if Chelsea, if she had been picked, there's no way she would have won at all. And no offense against her, because she ate all those peppers, and she did that shock challenge, the one they started out with.
Yeah, she did a good job with
And
that.
she, you know what she said, and she's right. She's given birth to two people, and she knows what it's like to give birth, and this wasn't any worse than that. And I can understand that, because I've done the same thing. So anyway, but she would never be able to do this because of the arm strength issue, which took somebody very athletic. And Dita almost did it, but the problem with Dita, and we'll find out after.
Dildo does not like heights, and then the
but I don't think
funniest
that was
part.
a problem.
The funniest part is that when they're both jogging away, Lance and him are both jogging away. They're jogging almost like they won something. They're jogging like they're both not really sore losers, and then all of a sudden Dildo starts crying and screaming, and he's like,
"Oh!" Grabbing his ear. He says, "Something's wrong with my ear, his left ear." And you see blood. And then they run up, the medic runs up, and they put this thing in his ear, and I'm like, my God, what the F is that?
I think the medic had like a syringe with some kind of fluid in it that he tried to flush out there, because I guess there's a cricket inside of his ear.
In there.
Which, ooh. And then there's blood all coming out.
I mean, there's a lot of, but it was bleeding, and they called an ambulance, and they took him away in the ambulance. Now he's already been eliminated. So, but still, I thought that was horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really, I think on his, between that needle thing and that, I think he suffered the most. I mean, it was really awful. It was disturbing to me. And
well, to think about, I hesitate. I don't even want to know, but I hesitate to think of what they did to him, because
poor thing.
I don't even know how. I guess you'd have to administer anesthetic in the arm, because like to think about what I don't know. Never mind.
Yeah, and that bled. His arm bled too when he did those needles. Those were not acupuncture needles. Those were big, heavy. I have some to sew with yarn. So they have to be bigger.
At the end of the day, though, it did kind of remind me of, some of these videos I've had to do with Safi, where I've had to listen to her for so long, and then at the end, my ears are bleeding.
Oh, for God's sakes. Marco, you're really creepy.
From listening to her bullshit. And now, and I was like, what happened to Dildo? And Safi was like, I don't know.
Well, the way they showed the trailer, I thought Chelsea had passed out from the electric stuff at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because they did show that they were going to have some kind of shock, and I thought she had passed out or something. But now this came at the end, and Dito had already been eliminated. So
Dildo got eliminated.
but his short term happiness, it's everything is over, and
It's so funny
it was
how
short-lived because the blood was pouring out of his ear.
it was so funny how he's jogging away and he's just like, "Yay! I'm a reality show star now." And then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh!" And Johnny was like, "Uh-oh, is he okay?" It was so funny. It was funny because of the editing, the way it was edited. It was like they're just jogging away really happily, and then all of a sudden it's like terror strikes. But I would give the episode a C+. It wasn't terrible, but just I don't like it very much.
I gave it a B, but I
Wow.
thought the electrified box was confusing.
Yeah.
And I would not, they have to touch that intercom to talk. And I thought that was so complicated because the thing is, there are the different colors, and then when you get from one to the next thing, there were symbols and colors. And so you have to hurry up and get the complete thought. Connect a sun with a moon or something. I mean, it's just but you have to hurry up because you're getting shocked while you're giving that instruction, and so it's just I don't know. I it would be nice if they could just do some kind of really hard puzzle, but I guess that's not Fear Factor.
Well, they could do a puzzle with fear, but like I just didn't like whatever. It doesn't matter. But I would say that's one of the issues I've had with the show now in general. Number one, I guess we should talk about this in the finale, but like the challenges not being oriented towards fear and being oriented towards like pain and torture.
Now I'm wondering how many
I don't like that.
Right-wing dictatorships, of course.
Okay, Safi, be quiet.
Well,
don't
but
do
they
that.
have this. They've had this cattle prod.
Don't do
That's
that.
been a famous torture. I used to major in Latin American studies.
Okay, well, I'm going to cattle prod you until you get your videos done.
And that was the cattle prod thing. Is like those, being electrified, just touching you with this prod, and then because I guess they put that on cattle or something, and basically that's what that's like, and anyway, it's painful, and also, I think
It's painful.
Somebody might have a heart attack.
Okay,
Or their
Safi.
heart could stop or something.
Okay, well, I want to say the person I'm rooting for to win the finale is the Machiavelli guy. If Dildo was in the finale, I would have been rooting for him too. I'm not rooting for the Slobby Robbie, and I'm not rooting for Knobby Knees, and I'm not rooting for Chill Out Chelsea. I don't know what to call her because Chill Out Chelsea. I don't know. I'm not rooting for any of those people. I'll root for the Machiavelli guy.
Well, I like Machiavelli
Hopefully.
or Chelsea, but I'm not cheering for the other two.
Slobby Robbie or Knobby Knees.
Because they're phony.
Yeah.
Well, Rob is phony, and I didn't think that at first,
Yeah.
but he's proven to be one. I would agree with that Lance guy because he said that.
I mean, you can you can tell that Rob smells like Axe body spray. Like that's his
But
persona.
that is a personal thing. What are you doing?
No, it's not, Safi. That's an internet saying because having Axe body spray, wearing Axe deodorant is associated with being a douchebag.
Oh.
That's what it means.
Okay.
So it means Slobby Robbie. He looks like he's got the Axe body spray combo. He doesn't just have one. He has 2 flavors. And Jaylene's Knobby Knees, I don't think she has any deodorant. I think that she... Never mind.
What are you doing? Just be quiet. Okay, so anyway.
What kind of deodorant you think everyone wears, Safi?
I don't care.
I never even thought about that.
All.
But you have all these people in the one house, in this house of soy. They all got to have their own different types of deodorant. I never even thought about that. That's something like in all these reality shows. What kind of deodorant do they all have, Safi?
I don't care.
Why not?
Because I know it's stupid.
It's... Well, anyways, that's our Soy Factor House of Soy semi-final review. Safi slacked off, and that's why it took this long. So,
what are you talking about?
Please like, comment, and subscribe. And then please join our Patreon if you want to support us even more. See a bunch of awesome bonus content. And I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow because we have to do crap tomorrow and Sunday. But, like... There's like 1 million videos that have just like piled up already, and this is what I don't like about the channel, is that like there's all these videos we have to do in addition to all the videos that we're already doing each week, and it's just really crappy. So we have to figure out how to kind of divvy that up and get it done. So, Safi?
Okay, goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.